Welcome to my channel, HF Coins World. Imagine you're cleaning, not an old coffee can filled with loose pennies that has been sitting on a shelf for years. Most people would assume every coin inside is worth exactly 1 cent. But then your eyes stop on a familiar design, 2 wheat stalks surrounding the words 1 cent. You flip it over and notice the date 1945. At first glance, it looks ordinary. Yet that simple penny carries a story shaped by the final months of World War II. And in the right condition, or with the right characteristics, it can become far more interesting than most people ever realize. Today, we're taking a closer look at the 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny, a coin that continues to attract collectors across the United States for reasons that go far beyond its face value. To understand why this penny matters, we have to travel back to 1945. America was reaching the end of World War II. Factories that had spent years producing military equipment were beginning to prepare for peacetime again. Families across the country were hoping loved ones would return home, and everyday life was slowly changing. Every coin minted that year quietly became part of that historic moment. Unlike photographs or newspapers, these pennies passed through millions of hands, carrying pieces of history from one generation to the next. The Lincoln Wheat Penny had already become one of America's most recognizable coins. Introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln, it was the first regular U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. By 1945, Americans had been using the wheat penny for more than 3 decades. Although millions were produced that year, not every surviving example is the same. That's one reason collectors still pay close attention whenever a well-preserved 1945 penny appears. Here's where things become even more interesting. If you turn over a 1945 wheat penny, you may notice a small letter beneath the date, or no letter at all. That tiny detail tells you where the coin was made. A D means it was struck in Denver. An S means San Francisco. If there is no mint mark, it came from Philadelphia. Each mint produced different quantities. And while all 3 are common in circulated condition, collectors often compare them for strike quality, eye appeal, and overall preservation. But does that mean every 1945 wheat penny is valuable? Not exactly. Most circulated examples are worth only a small premium above face value. However, coins in exceptional, uncirculated condition with strong original color can command much higher prices among collectors. Professional grading services evaluate factors such as wear, luster, surface marks, and overall quality. The better the condition, the greater the collector interest tends to be. There's another reason enthusiasts examine these coins so carefully: varieties and minting errors. During the minting process, small mistakes occasionally occurred. Some coins show off-center strikes, die cracks, clipped planchettes, or other unusual characteristics. These errors are not common, and not every unusual-looking coin is a genuine mint error. That's why experienced collectors often recommend having potentially valuable examples authenticated before assuming they're rare. One of the biggest misconceptions online is that every old penny is worth thousands or even millions of dollars. In reality, the market doesn't work that way. A coin's value depends on several factors working together: authenticity, condition, rarity, demand, and whether it has a recognized variety or error. While some exceptional Lincoln wheat pennies have sold for impressive amounts at auction, those are typically rare, high-grade examples, not average pocket change coins. So why do collectors remain fascinated with the 1945 issue? Part of the answer is history, but another part is human nature. Coin collecting is often about the thrill of discovery. Every time someone sorts through an inherited collection, opens an old coin jar, or searches a roll of pennies from the bank, there's a small chance they'll uncover something unusual. That sense of possibility keeps the hobby exciting, even when most finds are ordinary. Imagine a grandfather handing a small tin box to his granddaughter. Inside are dozens of old wheat pennies collected decades earlier. They spend the afternoon looking through each coin together, comparing mint marks and learning about the years they were made. Most are common, but every coin sparks another question about American history. Moments like these remind us that the true value of collecting isn't always measured in dollars. Sometimes it's measured in memories, curiosity, and the stories passed from one generation to the next. Here's a lesser-known fact that surprises many new collectors. During World War II, the U.S. Mint produced steel cents in 1943 to save copper for the war effort. By 1944 and 1945, copper alloy pennies returned to circulation. Because of this unique period, collectors often build complete sets that highlight the dramatic changes in American coinage during and immediately after the war. The 1945 wheat penny represents the closing chapter of that remarkable era. If you think you found a particularly nice 1945 wheat penny, avoid cleaning it. Cleaning may seem like a good idea, but it can leave tiny scratches and remove the original surfaces that collectors value. In many cases, a clean coin is worth less than one that has been left in its natural condition. Today's market for Lincoln wheat pennies remains active in the United States. Thousands of collectors buy, sell, and trade them every year. While common examples are affordable, premium quality coins with original red color or recognized mint eras continue to attract strong attention. That's why experienced collectors always examine wheat pennies carefully instead of assuming every old coin is the same. So the next time you receive change at a store or discover an old coin collection tucked away in a drawer, don't rush past those pennies. A 1945 Lincoln wheat penny may not automatically make someone wealthy, but it could connect you to an extraordinary chapter of American history and, in the right condition, become a coin that collectors genuinely appreciate. If you enjoyed exploring the story behind the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny, make sure to subscribe to HF Coins World for more educational videos about U.S. coins, rare variety, and fascinating collecting history. And before you spend your next handful of change, take a closer look. You never know what piece of history might be hiding in plain sight.